Assalamu alaikum, family. I hope you all are enjoying our money psychology marathon that is going on today. If you are enjoying this content, there's ways that you can support scrolling across the screen here. If you're interested in purchasing the book, that's the book right there. That's the QR code over there. You can go and grab it, learn more, go deeper. When I first started studying this subject, I was in a space where my ego was very much in the way. And it was really hard at first for me to admit that I needed work in my life in this area. And I'll tell you something that kind of shocked me into it. I had been studying emotional intelligence, working on that. I've been really trying to figure out how to go out on my own as a business developer and as a business consultant. And I was really stuck in this space of, why is it that I can do certain things for somebody else, but I can't seem to be successful at it on my own? And it really, bothered me because I was enjoying a certain amount of success over here. And I was like, well, what's the problem? And so as I was studying, I had started following somebody who was calling themselves, or I don't know where the title came from, but they were called a money shaman. And I was like, yeah, I want to work with this person. I'm gonna get this person to work with me because I knew enough to know that I had blind spots. I said, I'm going to book some sessions. And I kept saying I was going to do it. I was going to do it. I was going to do it. And I was on a project in Boston. And I was in the airport heading back from Boston to Chicago. And the plane was delayed. Something like what they said was going to be an hour turned into 3 hours. There was a snowstorm in one of the places, and we were just kind of all stuck in the airport. And I remember walking over to a coffee shop to order a cup of coffee. Got my coffee to go. And when I went back to the area where my plane was supposed to take off from, the whole little waiting area was packed. And so I sat on the floor with my cup of coffee, and I had, my earphones, and I was listening. I was just turning every moment into a self-improvement university. No matter where I was, popping the earphones, I'm studying, I'm learning. And I happened to look over across from me, and it was the person that I said that I wanted to work with, who had called themselves a money shaman. And so I, immediately introduced myself and was like, I really want to work with you. Would you work with me? And the person said, no. They said, you're not ready. I was like, excuse me? Nope. And so I had gotten their information. And when I finally got on the plane and got back home, sent an email and reintroduced myself, requested that they work with me, and they said no. And my ego was like, what they mean I'm not ready? I'm willing, I'm going down my checklist or whatever. But what I realized was that my ego was in the way. And I realized that I was going to cherry pick their coaching and consulting, take all of it. And over time, I learned to just surrender and let myself go. And later, I ended up having that person on my show, on what was the version of this show back then. And the person said, you're ready. But the sessions were a little bit different, and which I ended up I started to model my coaching sessions after what I learned. They were very conversational. They were very driven. I owned the session. The things that were of concern to me, I was able to, and the person helped me clean up thoughts and vibrations around certain things. And it was really helpful to me. And one of the things I said was, if more of our people could have the opportunity to talk to somebody that would really be focused on helping to clean up their thoughts and vibrate around certain subjects, it would be more successful. Because a lot of times, and I'm not downing if you go to counseling or coaching where the person is trying to give you their system, or they're telling you what you should do, or they're letting you just kind of regurgitate and talk about situations after situations, and you got to learn it. I said, this has got to be customized. It's got to be customized where I sit with the person and really literally go through with them what their thoughts are around a particular subject and help them to discover where the rate limiting beliefs are. And so that's what I do in my coaching sessions, where it really is very personalized. And I sit with you, my friends call it an exorcism, where we really just will talk through what you're working on, what you're trying to do. I help you pull up some of your thought processes around it and figure out what's blocking you. Because most of the time, it's our thoughts. Okay. So as we're going through this money psychology marathon, I want you to think about that. Do it for yourself. Think about, what am I thinking that could potentially be blocking me from where I'm trying to go and what it is that I am trying to do. What could be blocking me? And don't let your ego get in the way. And when I said that my ego got in the way, when I was making lists of certain things, instead of dissecting each one of the thoughts, I was like, no, that's good. That part's good. That one's good. That one's good. Let me look at this one. And that's not the way to do it. That's not the way to do it. Look at your thoughts around money, since this is a subject that we're talking about today, and make a list of your primary thoughts around money. Make a list of your first memories of money. Make a list of things that have happened to you that have been traumatic as a result of not having money or having money. What has impacted you? Dissect each one of them. Where were you before you made that particular financial decision? And how do you judge yourself if you make a decision that maybe doesn't turn out right? I hear people say all the time, well, I was just wasting money. I was just wasting money. Were you really wasting money, or were you doing what you thought was best at the time? And I know we don't really like that, but sometimes you got to give yourself grace. Sometimes you say, you know what? I was doing what I thought was the best thing for me to do at the time. It turned out not to be the best decision, but I can't honestly say that I wasted money because I literally bought a lesson. Now, I may have been a more expensive lesson that I should have had to pay, but I bought a lesson. I bought some awareness. I bought some certainty with what I spent. And so maybe some of the things that you're doing, if you kind of get off of your kind of judgmental high horse a little bit, maybe it's all for the good. Maybe it's all helping you get to where you are today and where you're going tomorrow. So instead of looking at everything that you've done as a mistake, everything that didn't work out as a problem, Look at it like a lesson. Look at it as a way in which you've been able to buy your way into a new thought process. That's what he needs to do to get our attention. And sometimes, because some of us are so in love with money, making us lose money is what he knows will get our attention so that we can get the lesson and ultimately allow him to flow through us. See, once we get more in submission, we move with his will, we submit to the will, we are a conduit. And sometimes those lessons cost us money, but I don't want you to think of it like that money you get back. Don't just, okay? If you've done it once, you can do it again. You can do it 10 times, 10 more times, 20 more times. You can do it. You can do it better. You can do it with a higher level of consciousness. You can do it with more focus. You can do it with better intention. You know, you just think about what you spent. You sowed into the economy. Now, you may not have sown into the economy that you want, but you sowed into it. And the fact you have, it's worth it, because now you've learned, and now you're going to move forward, and now you're going to do better. And so it's okay. Don't let people embarrass you if you don't have money. That's another piece that's really traumatic for a lot of us as a people. If we need something, if we need money, or if we go through something, there's this tendency in our community or to punish them or use that as an opportunity to look down on somebody. Listen, money is just consciousness. So believe it or not, you were tested, because if you got put in a position where you had to help somebody, or you knew about something that went down with somebody, and if now you find yourself saying, oh, they ain't all that because they go through what we go through, or you say, they broke, or whatever negative thing that energy you're putting out towards that person, you're failing your test. So we have to be mindful. Always be mindful. Because tests come in a lot of different ways. It may not be you experiencing poverty or lack of money. Maybe somebody else experiencing poverty or lack of money that comes into your sphere of influence, and Allah is testing you. How are you going to handle it? What are you doing? How will you treat them? How will you see them? How will you handle them? Are you using this as an opportunity to be like, I'm one up him? What are you doing with what you experienced? So those tests are all part of our money psychology. And when we start to dig into, why is it that I feel like that? Why is it that I don't like this or I don't like that? Start asking yourself. Sometimes it's how you grew up. Sometimes it's things that your parents deposited in you. Sometimes it's things that you saw happening around you. Sometimes it's the traumatic experiences that have happened to you that you're just going, I never want that to happen again. All right. If you're saying, I never want that to happen again, then use this opportunity during the money marathon today to dig into what your thought process was leading up that you made, and how are you going to make a better decision next time? How are you going to move differently? This is just all part of the process. And so if you remember my bracement, we talked about that page 202 from Closing the Gap, where the minister talked about the science of business, the science of warfare, and the science of mating. And those things all come in so many different forms that it's worth us studying it. Remember, it's a science. And it's a science that we've been pinched off from. So consider your interpersonal skills. I was going to actually read something, but I don't think I have enough time now because we have to go in 5 minutes. I'll do it at the next break. The next break is going to be at 1:30. And I have something from read. It's from Surah 17, the Israelites, section 3, entitled Moral Precepts. Before we got on the live, I had asked for something that we could read during the interlude here between the lives, and I'll do it on. And this section came up. We're going to read it together and just go through it. Part of also getting our moral character in place is going to be really important as we move into this new world and let go of this old world. The new world is all about unity. It's all about reliability. It's all about respect. Can a person trust you with new technology and new information? Can they trust you with something that they're going through? Can you be trusted if you're asked to assist or help? And so getting our morals in check is going to be key. And so morals are very multifactorial. And so we're going to just dig into that a little bit at 1:30 when I come back at 1:30. Okay, family. So if you are enjoying this content, there's ways in which you can support going across the bottom here. I don't know why my internet's acting a little crazy today, but it's all right. And if you want to get a copy of the book, the QR code and stuff like that is here. May Allah bless each and every one of you with a wonderful afternoon. Enjoy your family, enjoy your friends. We're going to enjoy some food over here. Enjoy some good company and some conversation. And inshallah, I will see you all at 1:30 after we have 2 videos that are coming up on our money psychology marathon. All right. So be a friend, tell a friend, jump in and out. If you got a few extra minutes here and there, check it out. If you're just cooking, put it on and listen. All right. But okay. Peace and blessings, family. Love you all very much. Wishing you more goodness than you've ever received or imagined. Assalamu alaikum.